Bam! What is up with the squad? It's Cess, your favorite RT with Uncle Tendency. Y'all know it's PoliSports tea time. Got political Lil in the building. Trying to figure out what's going on with the Instagram, but we finna get into this politics of the shoe drop. We appreciate y'all pulling up and checking out this live with us, and also checking out the recorded episode of this. Lil, how you doing today?
Oh, doing pretty good. Ready to rock and ready to roll.
Let's get it. Y'all, welcome in. Coming in. Y'all know how it is. Hit the like and the share because they both right there. Hit the like and the share. They both right there. Hit the like on any platform that you're on. And do me a favor, man. Pop over to YouTube. Make sure you give me a subscribe. Match that notification. Do not miss the next drop of PoliSports Tea Time, CessTalksSports, BWISE. Don't miss it, y'all, because we just building. This is where sports, politics, and culture collide in real time. Okay. In real time. So tonight, y'all, we are trying to get the screen fixed right. Okay. So tonight, and it's not, I guess it's this evening. It ain't even tonight. We're not just talking about sneakers, y'all. It might be nighttime somewhere. So I could be right. But in 2025, a sneaker drop is never, it ain't never just a shoe. Did y'all know that? I wasn't thinking about it like that till Political Lil pointed it out. Kicks is a battleground now. Arenas of influence, identity, and power. From college course to the dub, sneakers are signals, not just style, but access, equity, and resistance. Okay, look at the dub. Nike, Reebok drops a marketing fluff. We got Puma in there too. They're the latest chapter in a long fight. Civil rights athletes of the past, to Asia Wilson and Angel Reese right now. Sneakers equal protest, leadership, and presence. Every lace-up says, "I belong, I resist, I won't be erased." And a backdrop, post-2024 politics dripping with backlash. White grievance, erasure. Y'all know how it's going. Black women being targeted in corporate layoffs, silenced in the media, undermined in sports. Let's call it what it is. 2025, sneakers are cultural signals, protest gear, and survival tools. So let's break down why these drops matter and why they're bigger than basketball. And y'all know it's time to bring in my co-host, Political Lil. She's been frontline with the analysis where sports, culture, and politics collide. When it comes to Black women athletes claiming their space, she got the sharpest lens in the game. Sneakers, branded NIL deals, civil rights, power plays. Lil cuts through the noise and lays bare the truth. I did it with the claps. Every drop, every deal, every move. She shows us how it's more than business. It's survival and resistance. And to kick this off, we start with the WNBA's, the two bookend stars, y'all. Asia Wilson, Angel Reese. Their sneaker drops, not commerce, politics, not product, protest. Who eats? Who gets erased? Who flips the script? Political Lil. Let's set this record straight. The sneaker game has always been a political game. Let's go.
Yes, indeed. And thanks for that introduction. Look, it's great to be here. And as we unpack the game in 2025, because these shoes are about a little more than what's going on the court. They're symbols of culture, identity, and resistance. Every drop, every colorway, every campaign tells a story about who has power, who gets visibility, and who's shaping the narrative. And so for Black women athletes, the stakes are especially high. Their sneakers are not just merchandise. They're statements of autonomy, pride, and defiance in a world that often tries to silence them. So we're going to kick off things, and we're going to start by examining the WNBA's recent campaign and sneaker drops of Asia Wilson and Angel Reese. Because these are not just fashion moves. These are political acts. You all remember I told you every act is a political act. And what I mean by that is you either acting for the system or against the system. So we're going to dive into these drops and talk about their identity, visibility, and community, and why the sneaker game has become the front line for culture and political resistance. Auntie Cess, let's go on break it down, starting with Asia Wilson. Identity and Black girlhood.
Oh man, Asia's on top. Y'all know what it is. Let's put the spotlight on one of the most powerful voices in the game today. Asia Wilson, A1. As we are referring to her affectionately now, MV4. Put some respect on her name. Her Nike A1 campaign, not just a sneaker drop. Celebration of Black girlhood. You have Malia Obama behind the lens. That was bigger than style. I mean, that was lineage, politics, culture, all tied together. We didn't see it coming. Came from nowhere. The message, identity, community, legacy matter just as much as the wins and the stats in the resume. The roots run deep. She got a Southern heritage, HBCU pride, family and community at the center of everything she do. I looked up, Roscoe was jumping at the game the other day. That's Asian pop. That's Asian pop, right? Family, community at the center of everything she does. Uh, the thing that's cool about Asia is that her shine is never even about her, although it should be. She's the only one doing something, but she bring everybody up on the stage. Everybody gets to shine with her. I love it about her. It's collective. It's always about her team, what they can do, even if you know that they're not doing anything really, except supporting her. And I was thinking about that. It pisses me off sometimes about Asia because I'm like, hey, why you know she ain't doing nothing, hey? Why you like they be like, no, it's my girl in practice, helping, doing her thing. It's like, okay, hey, but for real, but it go back to Dawn. It goes back to the standard because Dawn thanks everybody from the person that cut the light on at the beginning of the day to whoever sweep that thing off at the end of the night. All of that goes into whatever the success of the program is for that year. And she treat them like that. That's why everybody get a ring. You get a ring and you get a ring. The practice players get a ring. The highlighters got a ring. The other team, the last year team got a ring. Everybody. Because it all matters. It all matters. I love that that's the lens that she looks at things with. And I hope that I can be better about taking that kind of lens about certain things. Right. It's generations of Black women rising together. But then it get to the tension. Asia is, let me say this really clearly. Asia is the face of the WNBA. I don't care what you're talking about. She is the face of the WNBA. If you don't believe me, why is she the first junior WNBA ambassador, global ambassador? She the first one because she the face of the league. They know it. That's why she up. Okay, we ain't got to get into all that. Mainstream media still tries to sideline her, act like she, the consolation prize or something. No, she the show.
Mm-hmm.
You got people getting pushed to the forefront, and her dominance is downplayed, or like it's not greatness. It's greatness. She's breaking records every time she steps on the floor. Her campaign, her sneaker drop, flipped that script in a way that we hadn't seen global platform used before. And she uses to say Black women's stories. They usually say Black women's stories aren't optional. But what Asia's saying is they're essential. The A1 is resistance in motion, culture, politics, sport, in every thread. So I got a question for the chat. Y'all let me know. When you see campaigns like A1, what does it say to you about the power of representation in sports and culture? And then how do sneakers become more than just fashion and shaping narratives? And I can't wait to hear y'all answers. And I think back to what Coach Rowe said. Coach Rowe talked about the fact that he has a daughter who basketball is not her thing, but she walking through the house singing Asia's song, top, right? Do you know her? Yeah, that's Asia Wilson. Why you know her? Because she's that one. She don't know nothing about basketball, but she know Asian, Black excellence. Somebody to look like me. Somebody look, see, feel. Make it all feel good. Lil, I want to hear the chat talk. Y'all get in the chat and let me know the answer to that question. But break down how Asia's A1 campaign uses sneakers as a vehicle for cultural resistance, and what that says about Black girlhood in sports.
It's actually a perfect example of how sneaks can transcend fashion and become instruments of cultural resistance. When you center Black girlhood, community, and legacy, Aja is using her platform to assert Black women experiences, identities, and contributions. And they deserve to be recognized and celebrated. So each sneaker isn't just a product, it's a statement that amplifies the visibility for Black girls in the sports. And, outside of the sport, it shows them that they belong, that their talents are valid, and that their cultural narratives are powerful. This campaign ties sports and a broader political lineage, especially when she brings Malia Obama into the situation. And I was very shocked. I knew that Malia was, majoring in film and was doing, some film work, but I was really, really surprised, happy and surprised. So that Obama connection, that's connecting athletic achievement with cultures and civic leadership. And then if you look at it on a deeper level, The campaign challenges the historical erasure, and that's a word we commonly associate with Asia, of Black women in sports. So sneakers in this context are like wearable symbols of empowerment. They allow Asia to carry her story into spaces that might have otherwise minimized her influence. So she's turning that commerce into activism and inspiring younger generations to see identity and heritage as sources of strength and pride. And I, when you were telling me the story about Coach Rose's daughter, that just brought me to mind. I was like, wow, that's a powerful connection, because here's a person that's not associated with sports, but still get the political message through sports.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Through Asia's platform.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And let's stay right here in a political and social perspective. Why do you think mainstream media and league politics attempt to sideline her influence? And how does this campaign really push back against that erasure? For somebody who has such a positive message, I don't understand. They keep trying to sweep it under the rug. Help me understand why.
Mainstream media and league politics, you know where they going. They going towards that conservative dollar. They want to try to minimize her influence because her visibility challenges the existing power structures, and there's false narrative, fake narrative. So Black women are frequently they face systemic undervaluing, and that's what we have here. Her success is downplayed, and and platforms they try to limit them. But because it is funny, because you have global powers rising on other continents. You have the rise of China, you have the rise of Africa. You would think they would want to push her face out there, but they just, they want to control everything. They got a control demon, going on, and they want to control the narratives and the sponsorship and how the fans engage, and then they want to prioritize white and or even male athletes, as the default face of the sport. Now you're not the default face of anything. It's a power grid that's that's unbelievable, and it's just unfortunately that they have wrapped up media. Media has no honesty in it, no integrity, and so it's it's just America always trying to push us aside, but need us desperately. Just like when this country falls, they'll be turning around. Can you help us? Anyway, but it pushes back on. It's just reclaiming a narrative, and creating a space where she could tell her own story, and it elevates Black girlhood. The Southern roots, the HBCU heritage as your central themes. She says, she's saying, look, I'm not going to let media or league politics dictate my image. So this was strategic branding, and I thought it was quite brilliant because, people, I don't think they associate her with that kind of commercialism, but
right.
This young lady, I just, now that's, how you see something now you can't unsee it. Mm-hmm. I can't unsee her, in any light but that Southern culture. And me going to a HBCU as well, I just love it. She's asserted authority over her identity and legacy, and she demonstrating that Black women can be both culturally and commercially successful, and resist those attempts at erasure. Just they over at the Smithsonian trying to erase her. Ain't no erasure. The story is already out there. And we're going to always step to the forefront, but this is a great time to be alive. And it's a great time to understand politics, in all of this glory.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a reckoning. It's a reckoning. And I mean, the WNBA, when we talk about them as bookends, right? Like Asia, it took Asia some time. And I guess, Asia said that they've been working on this collection of hers for at least 2 years before it actually dropped. And I don't know how long it took her to, because she wore PE LeBrons and stuff, I believe, before she got her own shoe. So I don't know how long she was working, towards this. But you think about the time it took Asia to get her shoe, and then you think about how Asia hit the spot with her shoe. Now this the bookend. So now from here it's up from here, right? So Asia, it was gradual. Angel, it was instant. And Flage's coming. She's already got it. When Flage gets here, she's gonna have a shoe deal. She's gonna have her money in the bank. She's gonna have, and then after that, the next group after that, you look at them, they're gonna have ownership already in the league. They're gonna have a shoe. They're gonna have, Juju's coming with a shoe. Juju's coming already as an investor at Unrivaled, also as an equity owner at Unrivaled, with the NIL deal that she signed. So you got all of these things that are going to take, all of these things that are going to take place, and all of these opportunities and money that these young people are going to already have stacked in these collaborations they've already built. That it's interesting to see where they actually go from here. Let's talk Angel Reese. Not just a baller, but a disruptor, right? Her Mebounds line, politics stitched into every stitch. These aren't sneakers; they're statements. Diamond dust, white pearl, pressure makes diamonds. Reese took hate, turned it into shine. Criticism made it brilliance. Receipts ready, black, white, red, truth, justice, protest. She's letting the world know I got the facts, I got the power. Mebounds pink. Trolls tried to clown her. Listen, she trademarked it, reclaimed it, and then funded an anti-bullying activism with money. That's flipping pain into power. And the media attacks aren't random. They're political. They're about silencing a black woman who refuses to shrink. Every colorway, protest, or art on her feet. Every drop, a counterpunch to erasure. But she turned sneakers into activism. And every step says, you can't break me, you can't silence me. And so I'm asking y'all in the chat, how do you see Angel Reese uses sneakers as a political messaging? And have y'all noticed the moments where fashion, sport, and activism collide in ways that challenge mainstream narratives? So while y'all are answering that question, Leo, how do Angel Reese's sneaker colorways function as a form of protest, and why is this approach so powerful for Black women athletes in today's media landscape?
You know what, they communicate specific political and cultural messages directly through their brand. Just the selection of the colorways, like diamond dust, resilience, receipts ready, truth and accountability, and then the Mebounds, pink, for anti-bullying activism. Look, that she's serving visual statements that amplify her voice on social issues. And this is in an era when women athletes are often scrutinized or misrepresented. And Reese's sneakers become an autonomy platform for storytelling and activism, bypassing traditional media filters. And I really like this approach. It's particularly powerful because it blends commerce, culture, and political messaging. So this allows Reese to assert control over her narrative while inspiring fans and other athletes to recognize that activism, it doesn't always need to be shouted from the podium. It can be embedded in various products that you create and wear. And in today's media landscape, when you got these narratives out here about Black women that are often distorted, hats off, because that strategy ensures that Reese truth and perspective is not going to be ignored. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with how she rolled her campaign out. And then I was deeply, deeply impressed with how her and Asia didn't see this as a competition between the two of them. Because Reese originally was supposed to drop her shoe in 2026. And I know she consulted Asia. I just know she did, and said, hey, let's put this thing into full gear. We not waiting till 2026. We got to fight on our hands right now. We only got a few more months, for this fight, to come to some kind of conclusion, or either we gonna, not play in 2026, this, that, and the other. I just thought I was just impressed, brilliant. That as young as she is so, educated in political thought.
Bottom line is, shoot, you don't make a move now, you may not be able to get them in the country anyway.
That's another thing. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Staying
paying attention.
Right? You don't make a move now. Hey, we need. Hey, turn the machines on. We gotta get this thing done. I don't know that we get them in the country the way things are going. Right. Protect the youth. What's good? Green Thumb. What's happening? Diamond Dust lets you know she's tough, but classy. I think is what you're saying. Glassy. I'm sorry. I know those AKA color shoes sold out. Yeah, I don't even know if a lot of people realize that Asia is an AKA.
Yeah.
Until they saw her.
See, that's another right. Powerfully educated group of Black women. A matter of fact, they headquartered in Chicago, but they, and I've attended many of their events. Beautiful women around that sorority there, powerful, and they deep. There's a lot of them, So that was a good selection for her.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry. And you know what's so impressive, Lil, is that she sold HBCU with her PWI self.
Okay, her and Reese, but Reese, several of her aunts went to HBCUs, but yeah,
that's when your excellence can't be denied. That's when your excellence can't be denied. Like Asia loves South Carolina, like she loves South Carolina. She's a Gamecock through and through. But anytime she gets a chance to shine a light on the HBCU or something that's a little bit more culturally relevantly close to her heart, and that's not saying that the South Carolina isn't, but the fact that her grandmother couldn't walk on the campus when she was a kid is really close to her heart. So just to see like her and all her brilliance and all her excellence, to still see a PWI retire their jersey, put that statue out there. They can do something else for Asia too. Asia has something else coming up this year. What is it, y'all? It's something else that they're giving Asia this year at South Carolina. Please help me remember it in the chat. They did the jersey. And I think that they retired Asia's number. So I don't even think that it was just the jersey. I believe that like nobody else wears 22 at South Carolina unless Asia says. But y'all correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. But it's something else. It seemed like they just announced they're gonna do for A. I don't. It's something. I don't know what else they can do. Hall of Fame. Thank you. Asia's going in the Hall of Fame. South Carolina Hall of Fame this year. Thank you, Green Thumb. I knew it was one more thing. It's still she not 30. It's still we're talking about MV4. It's still they talking about maybe she's not. Stop playing. Asia and Reese has the same fire. Reese is learning from Asia. I think that Reese has learned from Asia, and then she put her own twist on it. Like Asia put her twist on it, and Asia went with writing a book, doing some other things. Reese went with podcasts and clapping back. And not that Asia doesn't clap back. Asia's clap back is different. Both just as effective, but different. From your perspective, what does Reese's strategy tell us about turning criticism and online harassment into a tool for cultural and political resistance?
You know what? That strategy right there, that demonstrates a remarkable ability to reclaim agency in the face of scrutiny and online harassment. She's able to get control, and instead of letting criticism diminish her influence, she transformed that into some fuel for empowerment. For instance, like the Mebounds pink colorway, that reclaims the energy of cyberbullying, turning that negative attention into activism, and then funding anti-bullying initiatives. that's some real thought. Her team is just incredible. And so that neutralizes the impact of the harassment, but it converts it into a tangible social good. So that approach right there, that sent a broader message to Black women athletes. Adversity and criticism can be leveraged as platforms for resistance. So, by embracing that, their visibility and owning their narrative, linking it to an actionable campaign, Reese done turned systemic oppression into opportunities for empowerment, cultural education, community mobilization. That's a model of turning a personal attack into a collective strength and political impact at the same time. I mean, it was just brilliant.
And I'm petty. Now that they got a pair for it, I'll be around here like, go on, say it. They ain't said Mebounds since. I keep looking for a video with a Mebound. Don't say it. I would say it. Say, what is it? What she got? What she got? What she got? Boy, what she got? They said just as quiet as Kuta said Toby. They say rebound. Yeah, miss me with it. They said just as quiet as that. Don't say it. They won't say it, guys. I be trying to get them to say it. They won't. They won't say. They won't say it. Angel's a boss. Absolutely. Erwin Curtis. Thank you. For those of y'all that don't know, thank you. Hats off to Political Lil for your service to our country. We do see that U.S. Army veteran hat that you have on.
Army strong, baby.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So thank you for your service to our country. Absolutely. The WNBA is they're not just hooping right now. They fighting for survival. The CBA talk's heating up. They ain't even just coming, right? The CBA talk is heating up. And the system is still built like sharecropping, and they like, we're not coming back for that. We're not coming back for that. These players look like they out on the sharecropping live. Everybody look like they out. It ain't just the black women that's tired, the black women, the brown women, the white, everybody's tired. Except the ones that's, maybe on the tape. And maybe a few of them that ain't tired. I don't know. I'm still making my mind up on a few. But it's the athletes that bring the talent, and the ownership keep keeping the lion's share. I prefer Mebounds any day of the week than any other things. Yeah, I hear you. Me too. I just be trying to get them to say it because I want them to have to pay her. Say it. Go on, say it. Say it. That's fun. Women want equity, agency, real partnership. Not a seat at the table. Not crumbs. They want that seat at the table. Matter of fact, they may want to own the table. And that fight echoes like civil rights. This is the equivalent. Them, I don't know, and I don't want to take light of this. Thank you, Buki. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, y'all run them lights up. I know people will be like, "Oh, says she take it too far," but this is really like a civil rights movement. This is it right here. The weight of it, and I don't know if people really realize that that's the weight of it. What all is at stake here? Sneakers, NIL deals, media narratives. All of those are tools in the struggle, and this battlefield is shifted. So every time they drop a shoe, every deal, every stance, resistance in motion. If I can get you to go and buy products directly from me instead of from their website where I don't get a cut, that's protest. That's activism. That's action. That's a movement. Sell me out on my website. And I tell all, hey, own your name, own your website, own your brand. Black women athletes are rewriting this playbook, and the power and the balance of how this thing works. How do you see the WNBA's current CBA fight connected to the historical civil rights struggles, and why do you think it's black women that are leading this charge?
The current CBA fight is very much in line with historical civil rights struggle because it centers on the same principles. They were looking for equity, agency, and access to power. Those are core issues that blacks have been fighting for decades. So just as activism in the 60s challenged system inequalities through organized protests, legal action, and public advocacy, black women in the WNBA are challenging an economic and institutional structure that has undervalued their labor and limited their decision-making power. So this fight isn't just about salaries; it's about dismantling a system that keep on, mirroring sharecropping, where they get a talent but receive limited control and peanuts in terms of money, and they're not properly rewarded for their contributions. So, and who's out here leading the charge? Black women. They're the most directly affected, and because they carry such, the historical responsibility of bridging labor, social, and cultural activism, their leadership reflects that resilience. So it's a lot of strategic thinking involved, and they had the ability to connect, immediate economic demands to broader movements for racial and gender justice. They not only negotiating for themselves, but also for future generations. Just like the civil rights movement helped us in future generations. So, you know, you have to ensure the young Black women, you know, inherit a system where they're allowed to have real ownership and representation. And that's the crux of the fight right there.
You know what's interesting though about this, about what I don't think they realize? They come up with these 1965 plans, this sharecropping strategy, right? But when they really bring the fight, I don't think that they really understand that these ain't no we shall overcome type women. They not. This ain't a we shall overcome type generation. They don't know nothing about marching. They don't know nothing. What clock that T? Yeah. They this is the bonnet culture. They deal with it right away on site. They're gonna meet that resistance with the same energy. And this is something that we haven't seen before, right? There may be a lack of education, you know, on some key, you know, for some members of the group, right? On some key issues, but the diversity of the group, the structure of the group, just the cultural makeup of who we are as a people. Somebody know, because we always know a guy. We always know a guy. You hear me?
Yeah.
We always know a guy. It don't matter what. I don't care what happened. You got a boot on your car, somebody know a guy. Your water off, somebody know a guy. Your lights off, somebody know a guy. Yo, we don't have to have a conversation right now, but y'all know how we are. And I don't think that people realize that the real problem here is just the cultural makeup of who we are. We are a much more communal culture. Something happened with us, it's all of us. It is our fight. It is our issue. That's not their culture. That's not a knock on them. That's just that's not a knock on that culture. That's just to me, that's just a real analysis assessment. What I see. You know what I'm saying? Something happened to Karen. They don't get together. That's Karen business. Karen better figure it out. Right? Seriously. Something happened to Keisha. Oh, the community knew. Oh, we down at the park. We need to know what happened to Keisha. We don't even know. Everybody might not even know Keisha, but we know somebody like Keisha. We much more communal like that. That's where I think that's where the biggest differences come. If y'all keep trying to put us in the box that y'all in. If everybody just be who they are, we can work this thing out. But it's okay. Audience, y'all think about this bigger picture. How do you see the role of fans, media, and communities in supporting Black women athletes fight for equity and agency? You say 47 trying to destroy the Civil Rights Act. So at some point, we're going to have to make a decision about what paper we allow to dictate who we are, and when is it just my human right, my absolute right just for being here, right? And then you demand that, and then you go from there. So take that how you will. But at some point, I don't care what that paper say. I don't give a goddamn what that paper say. I am me.
Human rights. Yeah, human rights.
I'm a black woman on the face of this earth. I deserve everything I got coming. Everything you got an opportunity to, I should have an opportunity to. And you can write that down on that little paper if you want to. But I'm telling you about what it is. I'm not leaving till we get to it. I don't care what you write on that paper. So at some point, we got to figure out how much of this paper we gonna keep following the rules on. Because I'm worried about us anyway. Little way this AI is bossing us around. I'm trying to watch TV. Every time I watch TV, the thing keep asking me, "You still watching?" Till I turn it off, I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching TV. I'm watching TV on a streaming service, and I didn't pay for it. And it's telling me to do an interactive thing and play a game and flip over 2 times and watch 4 more videos before we get back to the show that I paid for. Now, we're going to have to make up our minds, y'all. But, okay, I'm getting on my soapbox. And never mind. Now, I ain't going to go down that route. But y'all know what I mean. If you know, you know. Fans must stand with the women. This fight for equity in women's sports is the catalyst for societal change. Yes, it is. Hashtag respect our game. A lot of people don't realize that civil rights are human rights. You hear me? It's all the same. I don't care what that paper say. Oh, man. Okay. I got here just like you did. So I got a right to everything you got. We all got here the same. And then we go from there. Basic human rights. after post 2024, y'all. I think the backlash has just gotten even louder. We know about the corporate America cuts. We know about the rollback in laws. We know about executive orders, all kind of stuff dropping every day. Every time I look around, black women are being silenced more and more in boardrooms, benched in the media, erased in sports. And it's not, it's retaliation. I need everybody to understand it's retaliation. It's not random. From 47 era politics to today's playbook, black women with power remain the target. And that's why Asia's A1 and Angel's Mebounds hit different. This is the survival gear, not a race, not sideline, not silence. This is how you step in with your A1s. I stand with Asia. Stepping with your Mebounds. I stand with Angel. My daddy always says we were all born human. We should all respect humans. You better believe it. I agree with that. Every campaign says it plain. Black women will be seen. Black women will lead, and black women will win. How does the current political and corporate backlash against black women shape the way athletes like Angel and Asia approach even branding and visibility in this climate?
You know, the political and corporate backlash against black women is, you know, it's just something like you really haven't seen before. You know, the layoffs, the silencing, the undermining of their leadership. That makes strategic branding and visibility, especially for athletes like Wilson and Reese, very important. You know, it's a climate where their influence is often questioned or minimized. So controlling their personal brand, that becomes an act of self-preservation and empowerment. So these athletes are intentional about their stories that they're telling through their campaigns, their public appearances, and they're ensuring their achievements and values are not going to be distorted and certainly not going to be ignored. So every marketing decision that they're able to make, and they are able to make these marketing decisions, they just asserting their authority, they celebrating their identity and reinforcing their cultural impact. You know, even in these historically limiting, type of spaces, but it's that's a shift in the power dynamics. You know, you own your message and own your image. You know, Wilson and Reese, they dancing around them gatekeepers. You know, media and corporate structures, you can't stop them. You know, no matter what narratives you have put out, they still out here shining. So they creating a direct connection to the fans and the community, bypassing them gatekeepers. That's so important. You know, these spaces on the internet, you know, shows like CessTalksSports, these are important in their ability to circumvent these gatekeepers. Before you had the internet and people had they YouTubes and such, shoot, everything ran through the white media. You couldn't get around in no kind of way. So, you know, this is a proactive strategy that amplifies their voices, you know, and so it's gonna challenge these systems that are trying to, suppress them. So you take this backlash, because Carol Anderson, y'all ought to check out some of her books. She has 4 great books on voter suppression and backlash, and I mean she talks about a very intentional way, but this is a motivation for meaningful visibility. You know, both of them kind of remind me of Muhammad Ali. That's how politically deep, okay. they going with this, because even though the system tortured him by taking his license to box, he was just like, I'm not going to bend to your will. And he was in a little different political climate.
Oh, absolutely.
Little different out here. So these young ladies, man, whoo, it just is what it is. They're gonna be visible, they're gonna be heard, their story's gonna be heard. What they do activism for, that cyberbullying one, that hit right on time, you know, and because she's experienced it, it's more authentic. Because Aja has the HBCU experience through her father, and you know, it's more authentic, and it's going to connect in a way, you know, that's gonna be Jordan like for the both of them. You know, I heard a little criticism of her saying she wanted to have an impact like Jordan, and I don't think she's talking about just a merchandise impact. I think she's talking more on a political thing, you know, having that kind of impact. She's gonna be in the history books a long time.
Oh, I mean, I think that she's definitely playing the long game. Definitely playing the long game. Why are these sneaker campaigns such a strong tool for resistance in a climate that seeks to silence Black women?
You know what? They're uniquely powerful tools, you know, because they combine visibility. I mean, they're on your feet, so you can't not see them. You know, they combine that visibility with cultural relevance. It's just like wearing an X t-shirt, cap with Malcolm X on it. You know, they're economic influence. You know, and they're not like traditional activism where, you know, it's filtered through the media or institutional approval. These campaigns are tied right into these athletes' identity and their message. And by them having control over how that message is going, it's harder for them to be controlled or censored. You know, so you know, each sneaker you see on somebody's feet carries an intentional symbol. You know, even after listening to this, when you see those shoes, you're gonna be thinking different. You know, because you'll be thinking, you know, from what you've just learned about how, you know, how the politics are playing out here. So, you know, we're in a climate where they're trying to silence Black women. And so the campaign turns the everyday consumer, you and I, we become activists too. Because I'm getting them shoes. I'm getting them shoes. No question.
Yeah, I can't get the pink ones though, Lil. I can't get the pink ones. I like when I see them with all they pink on everything. It's so cute. Team with pink. It's like, yeah, but not you. Not you, Cess. Not you. That one ain't
thank God they got black, you know, they got black and white. They got
hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you though, yellow. Them sunshine ones,
they was tight.
Them sunshine ones. You said NBA players are wearing A1s. Yeah, I mean, bam, I seen a few people with them on.
You know what? These sneakers they will ultimately become a living wearable form of protest. And so you're going to be asserting your autonomy, challenging erasure, proving that Black women can define their own narrative while influencing, you know, these broader social and cultural conversations. I mean, this is I can just feel the energy. You know, this is gonna be interesting.
I see somebody on Instagram say, Asia, slow down with the colorways now. I'm 8 colorways behind. Now, all these colors you drop, every time you look up, got a new colorway. Bam!
And they nice.
Yeah. All thoughtful, all very thoughtful, all good looking. It's a great looking shoe. Let's talk economic power for a minute, Lil, because this is where the sneakers stop. The sneakers stop being style, start being strategy toward to get to the money, baby. Asia Wilson and Reese. Signature drops and NIL aren't perks. Vehicles for independence, brand building, and long-term wealth. And at this level, not an NIL, more of a what do they call it? NILs become, what is the word I'm thinking of, y'all? Well, I can't think of I cannot think of the word. But I mean, they're still getting paid. Endorsements. I don't know why I couldn't think of endorsements. The word that came to my mind was so not what we was talking about, but I digress. The NIL becomes an endorsement, right? So you roll your NIL into an endorsement if you build that relationship and that collaboration with these companies as you're in college, right? Or for some of them in high school, which we'll talk about later in our series. But the vehicle for independence, brand building, and long-term wealth, but you got to have the plan, right? You got to own your image. You got to control your campaign, and you got to turn your products into power. And it's not a personal gain; it's a precedent. Black women athletes flipping marginalization into opportunity. So you got to turn the court into a boardroom without them even knowing it. Before they know it, it's a boardroom that you can flip the whole game on them before they realize what happened. That's what happened with Asia. Asia went from she ain't got no shoe to Of course, I got a shoe.com I done dropped 10 colorways before you could blink. And I don't know if it's really 10 colorways, but y'all know what I'm saying. So while y'all was saying it wasn't in the works, she said it's been in the works for 2 years and she was dropping a collection. Y'all didn't believe me. Y'all was like, what's that, a t-shirt with it? No, a collection. Like she said. Historic. It's been a historic drop. I don't know that we've seen a female drop like this one, but we can break that down later. They basically carved a pathway for the next generation to own, thrive, and lead. So how does owning their brand and controlling NIL deals early give athletes like Wilson and Reese real power in sports and culture and endorsements further down the road?
You know what? When you own your own brand and you controlling your own deals, you know, that's a form of power that extends, you know, beyond the court, and it allows them to dictate how they represent it. This is what made me so excited about both of their campaigns. You know, everybody talk about, you know, it got to be mainstream and they're not going to support. No, they got to dictate with some mainstream corporations, some billion-dollar corporations, how they were going to be represented, how their narratives were going to be amplified, and how their influence was going to be monetized. And so they didn't have to rely on the league. And that's the beauty of NIL. You know, you don't have to rely on the leagues. You don't necessarily have to rely on sponsors or media outlets to validate your success. These women have created platforms where they are the primary stakeholders. So that's autonomy that's translated, you know, into cultural authority. Letting them set the trends, shape the fan engagement, define what it means to be a Black woman athlete in today's landscape. This is a powerful moment we have here. You know, controlling your brand, that positions them to challenge the traditional gatekeepers in sports and culture. You know, you own your product, you own your campaign, you define your partnerships. They carry their own image and their own voice. And so that allows you to gain leverage in negotiation, you know, sponsorship opportunity, media representation. This power ensures that their visibility is not just performative, it's influential, intentional, and transformative. And so that's going to serve themselves and the communities they represent. You know, so this is a really big deal.
Absolutely. Y'all let me know like McDonald's All Americans. Y'all let me know in the chat how y'all think fans and communities can support Black women athletes in turning influence into sustainable economic power. And Will, when we think about the strategies these athletes use to transform the visibility into that long-term economic influence, why does it matter so much for future generations that they get that done?
Look,
what are some of those strategies they can use?
You know what? These athletes are strategically leveraging visibility through these signature products. And then, you know, athletes that have the NIL partnerships, you know, even the media engagements, they doing all of this to create sustainable wealth. This is not going to be a flash in the pan. You're talking about creating, you know, dollars for the long run while you're young. You know, so by aligning with brands that reflect their values and identities, these people, Nike and Reebok, you know, they not gonna be shortchanged out here. You know, you turning some short-term exposure into long-term financial stability, and is that not the end game? You know, so I like the way they're creating multi-layered campaigns to combine culture, advocacy, and commerce, ensuring that their influence is going to last beyond, you know, this season and, you know, any endorsement deal. So this strategy is important. You know, we always talk about how Reese is doing the blueprint, you know, and that matters for these future generations. You know, it sets a precedent for Black women athletes, and these young girls are looking, you know, and knowing that they can claim, and this is the it. Claim ownership over your own labor. Isn't that the ultimate deal? You know, yes, and having cultural impact. So, you know, you showing that your visibility can be monetized, you know, responsibly and strategic. So that, you know, Wilson and Reese, they're building a blueprint for these younger athletes. I'm so glad they collaborating, and not trying to, oppose one over the other, that competitive thing, which is not necessary in this case, but
you even see, Lil, I even see other players supporting players. Like I might not be able to wear your shoe on the floor, right? But I've seen them accept the shoes and wear them in their personal life, or what I'm saying, still big up them. I can't wear them but accept them. So I love how everybody is. They moving to let people know it's enough out here for everybody to eat. This is how everybody eat.
Yes,
I can wear your shoe, you can wear my shoe. It doesn't have to be a competition all the time.
Exactly. Listen, those two right there, they gonna define what it means to be a black woman in sports and culture for a whole lot of years to come. This is a great moment to witness, and I have gone through decades of my life and being involved with basketball. I dreamed of it, never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day that Asia and Angel would exist, and the power, that they displaying and the control of their narratives and stuff like that. Woo! The chains is coming off. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. And Flau'jae is going to enter this conversation really soon, like you're saying. And she's going to introduce Puma in a really different way, in a way we haven't seen him. Like that was pretty much studio here. So to see Flau'jae step into that opportunity at the W level is going to be interesting to see how she attacks that. I know she's not able to wear them right now because of being at LSU. So it's going to be interesting to see how she attacks that. But we also will see AZ and Lay bring Under Armour, Steph Curry's brand into the WNBA here soon. We also will see. Nice. I don't know if there's a Jordan Brand athlete in the dub right now. I know that Maya Moore was a Jordan Brand athlete. I know this Special K is a Jordan Brand athlete. I don't know if there's a Jordan Brand athlete right now. Flau'jae had a PE from Puma last year, but she couldn't wear it in the game. So unless you see her posted on socials and stuff like that, because she's at a Nike school, she couldn't really, I don't think, showcase it in a way that really would have an impact on the basketball court, or have the impact that it can have on the basketball court yet. This year out there in her shoe doing her thing.
Yeah, that needs to change too. You know what I'm saying? You still holding up, folks.
Nafisa's a Jordan athlete. Thank you. Does Nafisa have a PE, or does she just wear different Jumpmans?
Hello?
Yeah, it's down there.
Okay, I'm about to wrap up.
All right.
So, yep. As we get ready to wrap up, let's be clear. These sneakers, not just style, not just kicks. This identity, resistance, economic independence. But Asian Angel, every pair is a manifesto. Every drop says, "This is who we are. This is what we stand for. This is our people." The battleground shifted, y'all. Sports and culture ain't separate from justice anymore. They're the front lines. Okay, this is our first year with Jordan. Thank you. These kicks are tools. They're symbols. They're statements. And every step says loud, we will not be silenced. Lil, real quick before we go, how do you see the sneaker campaign shaping the future of Black women's influence in sports and culture?
Look, these sneaker campaigns, they're going to influence what it looks like for Black women in sports and culture. And back them combining their athletic excellence, political messaging, and cultural storytelling. Shoot. Miss Wilson and Miss Reese, y'all creating a platform where the voices, vision, and values are going to be centralized. And so this approach demonstrates that influence isn't just performance on the court. It's about ownership, narrative control, and visibility in spaces that have historically marginalized Black women. So these campaigns done set a precedent. It's on and popping, ensuring that Black women can lead in shaping trends, culture, and conversation in ways that are both commercially successful and socially impactful. So that's the beauty of what we're seeing right here. So these young girls out here watching these athletes, claiming their agency, building wealth, and a certain cultural relevance, simultaneously. This is big. This is going to be a big thing.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap for today's PoliSports, the politics of the sneaker drop. We broke it down. These sneakers ain't just shoes. They're statements. They're manifestos. They're tools for resistance. I'll say this. I hope these young ladies start dropping political message t-shirts that match the color schemes of their kicks. I would love to see some pay us what you owe us shirts in the color schemes of these kicks that they didn't drop. Another way to keep the movement alive, visible, and undeniable. Here's the play, y'all. Y'all know we always got something for y'all to do. Tap in with the Respect Her Game advocacy group online. Anytime you post about WNBA players, flood the timeline with hashtag Respect Her Game, hashtag say their names, hashtag fair pay WNBA. Y'all hit subscribe, drop a comment, like it up, and tell 10 people to pull up. Lock in with the conversation, because remember, sports is never just about the games we play. It's about the stories we tell and the systems we expose, the truths we refuse to let slide. And don't miss what's next, y'all. Broken Sky, episode 4. The Chicago Sky's win now. Con. What's a con? Fraud, betrayal, media manipulation, and the erasure of black culture in the WNBA. Trust me, we're pulling the mask all the way off. Y'all know what it is. Cess, your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies, dropping tea with political lil. Y'all stay tuned. Talk soon. We out.